instruments, y'all.
We do. We have more than just the tambourines now. Miss J has some macarenas.
Maracas, not macarenas.
I still like to refer to them as macarenas.
Macarenas is a dance.
I know, but
I had one in the head macarena.
Hey, macarena.
Aight. Ad-lib.
And see, they go with it.
Ad-lib. Did I have these?
What are they called? Are there symbols?
I think they're finger symbols, but not like symbols.
They look like little clams, you guys.
They do. They look like, hello, my name is. Okay. I feel like I'm in like 3rd grade music class right now. Hello, y'all.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Bible Blabbles.
Babble. So you're going to do that. Babble.
Hey. Bible. It is so loud. I'm going to put that down. Oh, y'all, it has been a week. We are in August 2023. I hate to put a time stamp on things, but I just want to let y'all know where we at. And this year has just been a whirlwind.
I would like to say this year has been yearing.
This year has definitely been yearing. And this month has been yearing. Because before we even talk about our topic today, I got to get this off my chest.
What?
Alabama. Montgomery. To be specific.
The Montgomery
The
brawl.
gump, as they call it. My God today.
Woo. It's been blowing up all over Black Twitter, as y'all like to call it.
Yes.
On the Black Web.
The dark web.
Oh, okay, now let's not say the dark web, because the dark web
is actually real.
Something else.
But we're not on that.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about Black people entertainment.
Oh my goodness.
I have been posting some memes. I've been loving and liking all of the memes.
I mean, I was just,
have made a white folding chair over the bat symbol, my meme, for the rest and remainder of this year.
I think the stock on folding chairs and went up too.
Right. Who makes that? Whatever company makes those, they need to go ahead and put them in full. They need to go ahead and put it on the assembly line and go ahead and ramp up, because they know that people, especially these Black people, will start going by it. We have them anyways.
We sure do.
Because we get those in our card tables for our family reunions.
Yes, the functions,
birthdays,
baby showers,
barbecues,
all of them.
Everybody got the old, that with the corner is tearing apart, and you can see that tan styrofoam peeping out in the corner.
Oh my God.
Nasty table. And that it never flush. They always got a little bit of a lean to them. And then we have the folding chairs. That's how we do. And we play all of our games on them.
Sure do.
Dominoes, or bones as we like to call it.
Yes. They just need to go ahead and dip that one folding chair in bronze and put it in the Smithsonian, Black
Somebody
Smithsonian.
need to find it. I need someone to find that, and somebody to find, and I want a full, real interview with the Black man that jumped in the water to swim.
I saw something floating around. He put out a statement. He was like, "Thank y'all for y'all support. I was trying to help. I still want to.
No, I need a full interview, like
Good Morning America.
Yes, on Good Morning America. So, what was going through your mind,
Roberts? Where you at?
Right. What was going through your mind when you decided to jump into the river? Well, I just saw a man in distress, and I know.
I tell you one thing. I've been like, stop from way over there. I'm not jumping in that water. Stop. Get off me. Because I don't like bodies of water like that. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. I know. I'm from Florida.
Yes, exactly. You guys, sometimes I'll be trying to wrap my mind around Miss J and
I am
where
very
she grew up.
complex.
If you grew up in pretty much, Florida is like an island that's barely hanging onto a piece of land. It's like barely attached.
This is true.
So since it's barely attached, I'm trying to understand why you don't ever seem to like to be around hold on. Especially for someone who loves going on vacations.
Love it. But I like pool water. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yes, right. Like I'm not I ain't taking no dip in no lake. I know that. But still,
All right, look.
the ocean's cool.
The ocean's fine. I just gotta make sure I could see the bottom or close to it, or it don't look too murky. It's not too much seaweed down there. Oh, when I was in Puerto Rico, it was like a bunch of fish at the shore.
Yes.
Like I was like, why y'all here?
Because that's their
home.
territory.
My homegirl was like, this is their house?
Yes. They're probably looking at you like, excuse you need to wipe your feet before you enter my domain.
I took like the biggest step over.
Oh,
I was like,
they probably was like, where's she going? You know we could just swim right over there. Oh, wow.
But, okay, just to go back really fast to the Montgomery thing. My man was brave for swimming in that water because that water was dark as all get out.
It really was.
And it just
really
doesn't
was.
look very, like, inviting. Like, it looks like he shouldn't have gone in the water.
Listen, I gave him a full 10.0 for his dive.
Tens across the board.
Because the way that he just, and then just hit him with the, what is this? It's not the butterfly. What is that?
No, that's not the backstroke. I don't know.
Whatever.
Terms.
He had a whole Olympian
Is it a
stroke going on. He was like, I'm coming. I am, to wait for me.
You know what they were calling him? Aquaman.
Listen.
Amen. Okay, all right.
I love us.
I love us, and I love how we jump to situations and react, and like our sense of urgency is just like top tier most times.
I love our sense of humor
That
because
too.
this thing has taken off and gone viral for the entire week.
Yes, it has.
Everybody has been talking. First of all, it has been on the news outlets.
It has.
And unfortunately, some in a little bit of a negative way because they was looking for folk.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
They was
been
looking.
all over the internet, all over the Shade Room and everywhere else.
Everybody
There's
got it.
no way you could not find a view of from every angle of this video that was shot. Between the white folding chair, the man with the black baseball cap from the beginning, when he flipped that thing around and said, and just threw it up in there, I was like, oh snap.
And that hat never came down. It was.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
I don't know if someone caught it or what.
It was like a bad signal.
Listen, it sure was.
That hat said, hooty hoo.
It sure did. Okay, it's ready. So again, speaking of, like we
Yes.
said, you know, having the folding chair and playing games, this episode, you guys, we talking about my favorite book, Job.
The Book of Job.
As I called it when I was younger, Job.
I called it Job too.
Because I had no idea how to pronounce that. And it wasn't until somebody was like, what job are you talking about? And I was like, the J-O-B. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's done that. But it's actually pronounced Job. But yes, they was playing games with Job's life.
They were.
Okay? They really were. All of them.
The whole community
The whole entire community.
made this man look like he was just like, bro, you in the wrong.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's like, it ain't me, y'all. It ain't me. I'm
So-
faithful.
Right. He's like, I'm faithful to the Lord. I don't know what's going on.
Child.
So, you know, like we said before, we're covering A-side stories, you guys. So that's why we're skipping past Chronicles, because Chronicles is literally chronicalizing all, like
Criminology.
Okay.
Incarcerated Scarfaces.
So unfortunately, I did not get to use my chronic intro episode because we're not covering Chronicles. Because again, when I went back and read it, I was like, it's literally talking about pretty much who begat who and all that, and empires. And Esther, I mean, Shii and everything, but I think Ruth had a little bit more precedence.
Yeah, Ruth had more flair, so does.
Yeah, so we'll cover her again on B-side. So that rolls us into my man, Job.
Job. Now, before we get started, Regina, you tell me what you remember about Job in your childhood, in your studies.
In my studies, it was always that Job pretty much, again, like I said, he was a test.
Right.
They was playing with his life, and
They being
God and Satan.
Yes.
Like it was the game. It really was. It was almost like somebody was pulling money and was like, bet money. bet money. I bet, yeah. He was like, I bet you if we do this, this, and this, that he gonna denounce you, God. And God was like, oh, I put my 20 on that and a 10.
I got 5 on it.
Because he was like, I know my man Job. He was like, we got a personal relationship. Right. He ain't never going to denounce me. So yeah, he's like, I put my money on it. That's not a problem. He was like, I'm gonna see you where you at, and I'm gonna bet this money on them. And then after that, let's we'll divvy it up. And once the game is over, we'll see who's the winner.
To me, it's a little interesting I shouldn't tell you this. We have heard that, Satan has been around all these Bibles, and it's evidence in the wicked ways of the people. Mm-hmm. But he hasn't approached God for a minute. Like after he got kicked out, he was like, bet, fine, I'm gone.
Which he should have been. He should have been cowering somewhere. Right. You started this whole problem. Thing. We would have been, like I said before, all up in paradise.
All up and through it.
But because he got jealous.
Right.
It was like, you ain't paying attention to me. As they say, Lucifer's, he was supposed to be the most beautiful angel, right? And he kind of got full of himself and was like, like he was vain. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, so what do you see about this piece of dirt? He was like, that ain't nothing but a piece of dirt. What's so great about them? Look at me and all my glory that you created in me.
And that's why you got banished, sir.
Right.
Because you're doing the most.
So you start all this trouble. You got kicked out. Then you still been hating because obviously he's been causing
hating from afar.
Right. And I wonder if he was like sitting back this whole time and was like, I'm
gonna pop up on him.
You know what? It's been a minute since I came in there and shook things up.
Shook the table.
Right.
Shaking the table.
Let me just see. First of all, he was like, let me see what back door I can enter into heaven. Because at the gate, what's his name? What's his name supposed to be at the gate? Lazarus, right? Don't they say it's Lazarus at the gate of heaven? They know him at the gate.
Like,
He can't come in through the front.
You're not coming up through here.
I can see Lazarus posted up on this chair at the gate. As all men do, with his news.
Reading the Israel Daily News.
Reading the Israel Daily News. Checking out. I was like, oh, that was cold blooded the way that David sent your Joab. That was crazy. I can't believe they did that. What's your name is? Okay, let me see. Yeah, you good. You can come in. And that. Oh, no, Solomon didn't get 700 wives. So was Lazarus up there chilling? Oh, God. Can you imagine Lucifer trying to like disguise himself to try to walk through the front gate? He be like, hold up. Right. Lazarus be like, hold up.
He on extra loincloth.
Take that off. Let me see your face. Lucifer, now you can't come up in here.
But I just want to talk to him real
fast. Man, you can't come up in here.
I just want to chat with the man.
Look at this picture. This picture is of you.
That's me?
It says, yes, not allowed.
That's cold-blooded.
So you ain't allowed up in here.
Why is there a wanted poster?
It was a whole one. You don't cause too much trouble and shenanigans. So we had to make sure, just in case people didn't know or forgot who you was, here's a picture. You ain't allowed.
Y'all really holding on to this? I didn't tell that
you
girl.
You holding up my line, bruh.
All right, cool.
So you know he had to sneak in through the back door.
So he snuck it through the back door. Ran up to God and was like, hey, son, I got a bet. Let's do this. Because you think you are all powerful and everything. Which I don't like because, he is. But Satan felt that he could challenge God in this moment. But before we get to that, let me give y'all some background about Job.
Okay.
Job was a good man. He lived in the land of Uz, not Oz.
I was about to say. I would see. Yes, y'all better be glad Miss J reading this episode because I sure would have said that he lived in the land of Oz.
Okay, now I have to take my time here because now I'm thinking of the Wiz, and we've talked about this before.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
No. Now I'm like, only the one with the silver slippers. Now I'm like, dang it, I can't get them out of my head. But anyways, so yes, the land was called Uz, U-Z. And he was a blameless man full of complete integrity. He feared God and stayed away from evil. He was probably one of the last good folk left.
Probably.
Okay? He was not worried about getting no 700 wives and stealing people's vineyards and nothing. He was like, I'm just here to serve God and live my life. This man had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 teams of oxen, and 500 female donkeys. This man was rich, y'all.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
He had a good, healthy plot of land.
He did. He also had many servants, and it says, in fact, he was the richest person in the entire area. So everybody knew Job in Uz was the man.
Okay.
Everybody. So I'm going to keep reading a little bit. It says, Job's sons would take turns preparing feasts in their homes. They would also invite their 3 sisters to celebrate with them. So they had like a lot of family time, which is good.
You think this was like Sunday night dinner?
Probably. Soul food Sundays.
Soul food Sunday.
Probably.
Soul food Sunday. Okay. Soul food.
When these celebrations ended, sometimes after several days, y'all got money like that? Okay. Joe would purify his children. He would get up early in the morning and offer a burnt offering for each of them. How nice. My daddy ain't never did that.
I know, right?
So Job said to himself, perhaps my children have sinned and have cursed God in their hearts. So he was basically making up for whatever they might have done. That
right.
Was
like he's like,
sinful.
I ain't asked him, I ain't sure, but kids gonna be kids. So just in case, let me go ahead and make this burn.
You know, one of his 7 sons was out there fornicating.
Listen, I would not be surprised.
I'm just saying. All right, so now we're getting back to this confrontation with Satan and our sky daddy God, okay? It says here, I'm reading down, one day the members of the heavenly court came to present themselves before the Lord, and the accuser Satan came with them. Where have you come from? The Lord asked Satan, and as you just heard us say, he snuck around through the back door. Okay? The back.
Do you think they was all chilling and having a good conversation, drinking some more heavenly wine?
Heavenly wine,
and
yes.
having a good kiki and enjoying themselves. And there was somebody was over there in the corner playing jazz music, and someone was singing, and they was like, "Oh yeah, tell me about it." And then he come just like if it was like 5-6 group people talking, and he just like made himself part of the conversation, like, "Hey, what y'all doing?" And everybody's like, "Huh."
He came in like Nino Brown.
Right.
Like, what's up? Like,
right. And they was like, somebody was probably like, who let him in?
Who in the hell left the gate open? Okay, so the Lord said, what are you doing here? Where you come from?
Right.
Here he go. I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on, bragging about the downfall of man since he got banished out of heaven. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. The Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He is blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil. Satan replies, yeah, but Job has a good reason to fear you. You have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. You have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. But reach out and take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face.
My man said it's easy for him to praise you and worship you, God, because he got it easy. He got everything he wants.
And I think we have a problem with that as people in general. People think that just because you seem to have everything, you have no problems, which is so wrong.
But as a word of my man Biggie Smalls, so they said,
I knew it was coming.
More money, more problems.
I don't know what they want from me. It's like the more money we come across,
the more problems we see.
Hey,
coming. Okay,
sorry, y'all. Who's not on the whole song? Okay, okay. So here goes what the Lord says. He says, "All right, you can test him. Do whatever you want with everything he possesses, but do not harm him physically." So Satan was like, bet, and left.
So again, like I said, they was betting money. He was like, I put 10 down on the fact that if you take everything away from a man, I bet you he gonna curse you. And God was like, okay, know what?
I see you're 10 and I raise you 10
Man,
more.
bet. It sounds like such a hood thing to do.
It's very hood.
It's such a hood thing. I can just see it's you know how when you were a kid and you remember your two uncles talking about I can outrace you. I can outrace you.
Oh yeah, foot race.
Yes, a foot race at like 9:00 at night because they drunk. And he's like, no, I bet you I can make it from here to there in like 5 seconds.
That's
and
such
he's
a black
like,
thing to do.
No, you can't. I bet you can't. I'll race you. No, man, I'll race you. Bet money. Okay, bet money. And then like, everybody's sitting around like, why are they really about to? It's 9:00 at night. It's dark. Nobody can see anything.
Somebody gonna fall.
Right. Somebody gonna get hurt because they drunk. And they out here betting on something so minute. I'm sorry.
No, it's
that took
fine.
me back to my childhood.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just what we do. But I just think it's like it's really honorable for the Lord to be like, do what you want to do. I know He's not going to fail because He's had a host of men before Job fail, literally, who he thought was like the golden child,
right?
But he's
From
like
Adam to Noah,
right?
Noah to Abraham. He did stay faithful. Yeah. Our men's Jacob and Joseph. They had some issues, and then
David had issues too.
Right. Moses was good, but but remember Moses got in trouble.
Yeah.
Because Moses had anger problems, which I don't blame him. All the way, like you said, all the way down through David. Like people, they fell short.
Yeah, so he was like, I'm putting all my coin on Job. All right, so Satan was like, bet I got this. So one day when Job's sons and daughters were feasting at the oldest brother's house, a messenger arrived at Job's home with this news. Your oxen were plowing with the donkeys feeding beside them when the Sabians, I almost said sunbeams, raided us. They stole all the animals and killed all the farmhands. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. So like a mass murder happened. I guess.
Right.
A massacre
like some
happened.
marauders, robbers, or whatever. Yeah. A gang, basically.
Right.
A gang rolled up.
Right.
And took all of his stuff.
That's crazy. And then it says, while he was still speaking, another one popped up, another messenger with this news. The fire of God has fallen from heaven and burned up your sheep and all the shepherds. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. Come on now.
So.
Come on now.
Again.
Come on.
What the animals got to do with this?
Oh, yes, that's right. You have this soft spot for the animals.
Because, again, why I got to be burned? Why?
That's good meat y'all wasting.
For real.
That's good meat. That's good clothes. That's a handbag right there. But okay. While he was still speaking, a third messenger arrives with this news. 3 bands of Chaldean raiders, Chaldean chili peppers, raiders have stolen your camels and killed your servants. I am the only one who escaped to tell you. So this is 3 messengers right now. So there's a party going on. Y'all listen to this scene. There's a party going on. It's happening at a feast of the oldest son's house or whatever. You got 3 folks that rolled up to give you all this bad news. This party is over. The music has stopped. They stopped eating. If you were Job and you got all this news coming to you at one time, what would you do? WWRD.
I'm Job in this scenario.
Yes. Right now. In this
right
moment.
now. And yes. So 3 people have already given me bad news.
And they standing right in front of you.
And apparently I don't have the option of singing no bad news at this point. So I can't be like, don't nobody bring me.
No.
Don't nobody bring me.
You got to take it.
Don't. No. Okay.
Because guess what? While he was still speaking, another person arrived with this news. Let me tell you,
at this point, this be me. I'm gonna fell out. I'll be all up on the ground.
Oh wait, I had this mixed up, y'all. Let me read this to you. So yeah, there was a party going on at the feast. Job is not there. Okay, mm-hmm. Job is someplace else. He's at his house. Because the 4th messenger says this. Your sons and daughters were feasting in their oldest brother's home. Suddenly, a powerful wind swept in from the wilderness and hit the house on all sides. Child, the tornado came.
At this point, that's why I'm like, no, take baby Jesus, why? You what? I don't have nothing left. What do you want from me?
No, he was like, no more lies.
Lies. No more lies.
It's not funny. The house collapsed and all your children are dead. I am the only one who escaped to tell you.
How my man ain't have a stroke? Because that's a lot of stress.
In one moment, all this bad news.
That's crazy.
It's usually like, hey, you got a flat tire, or hey.
Right. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think this is where they say things happen in threes, even though I know he had four?
It's 4.
But somebody's math was off.
Somebody's math was way off.
Because,
yeah, could be. Bad news happens, or death happens in threes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. But yeah, somebody's math was off because it's the fourth one right here. And the fourth one is the doozy.
Man.
So after the fourth messenger said what he said, Job stood up and tore his robe in grief, then shaved his head and fell to the ground and worshiped. Oh boy. He said, I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord. In all of this, Job did not sin by blaming God. Let me just pause right here, because the natural person would have been like, God, why? God, why? I lost this.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What's happening? Oh, hell no. They would have lost their mind.
They've been like, I don't understand why you doing this to me, God. What did I do? Why you hating on me?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. But he said, praise the name of the Lord. I only have what I have because the Lord gave it to me.
And, that's like a testament to his character. And like in our regular lives, like I know there's a few people that can still praise, during all the storm. My mom is one of them. Mm-hmm. Like she doesn't like some people can take bad news and be like, like her, she's like, God will provide. Mm-hmm. And she's always been like that.
Well, that's a blessing.
Okay. Because me, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Right. I don't know what to do. Yeah. I need help. Oh my God.
I mean, for me, the immediate reaction is, especially if it's really, really bad news, it's, of course, sadness and sorrow. And then it becomes, okay, I don't like the saying, oh, well, it must have been God's.
Yeah.
What,
I know
will.
What you mean. Yeah, God's will. Yeah.
Right. But I do more of, okay, well, this, maybe what has happened was part of all of God's plan.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's something either good or, whether it's a learning situation or developing your character situation, whatever it is, something can come out of it.
That's true.
That's how I look at it.
And I am learning that I do shoot first, ask questions later, because my natural reactions are very natural. I don't pre-plan anything. It's how I feel. Mm-hmm. But after I've settled down and I've calmed down,
that might be the Gemini in her.
It probably is. You can say it louder. I don't care. It probably is. We are very knee jerk. You kidding me? That's why we take so long to make decisions, because we have to mull stuff over to make sure, like, I messed up last time. I'm not going to go through that again. Because the impulse will drive you, be like, oh man, I messed that one up. So yeah, I am learning to, take things slow and say, well, you know what, God, thank you for this. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. I have gratitude here and I have gratitude there. I might have lost this, but I'm going to get this back later. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So me and Job is the same. Maybe Job's a Gemini.
And I think, listen, maybe he is. But I think the part of this comes from that whole thing. Like, the Lord will never give you more than what you can handle.
True.
But
that's a lot, though.
That's true. And God will also, if he's kind of like what we touched on with Abraham and wanting a son, and he finally got his son Isaac, and God was like, well, now I need you to murder him. But obviously, it's one of those things where it's like, to me, it's like if God promised you something,
right,
he's not going to take it away. There's a plan, and either just like, of course, he provided a ram in substitute of sacrifice. He just wanted him to prove that he was loyal to him.
Right.
Like, go on, prove that you're loyal to me. And I think this is kind of the same thing. Like, And I think Job recognized that. Like, okay, I only have what I have because God gave it to me.
Yeah.
It's by God's graces that I have 10 kids and
right.
a fruitful land and servants and da-da-da.
And it's one thing too, like the text doesn't say it, but like he didn't show any embarrassment either. Like when all these messages was popping up and telling him, you know, and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like he didn't worry about his public image. Well, I don't know. The text doesn't say it.
No, I think you're right. It wasn't like he was just like, oh, don't tell nobody. I don't want it to get out that I'm cursed.
Lady Whistledown's column in the
right. The Jezebel column. The Jezebel. Yeah. He didn't, like you said, he didn't care. He was just like, okay, you know what? Let me do what's part of our tradition. Let me, tear my robes and all this stuff and pray.
Yeah.
And still, say, well, praise the Lord.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let me pick up where we paused at. So, okay, we've read and talked about all the stuff that Job lost. So here we go again. Mm-hmm. So he's gotten another test, and look who comes back to play again.
Okay. So at this point, I know they're like, how he keep getting in here? Lazarus must be sleeping on the job. Because here comes Satan again.
Lazarus is lazy.
Somebody is upset. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure Lazarus doing his job. He's sneaking in. It's Satan. Of course, he's doing the bad thing. Right. So he probably snuck in. But if you keep interrupting my parties, we're going to have a problem. You keep sneaking in all uninvited. You ain't got no ticket.
Oh, God.
I ain't left your name at the door. How you keep getting in, bruh?
Let me find out. Satan's a wedding crasher.
He really is. He really is. If the host of heavens, as they say, is up there with their harps and cherub, I'm telling you, they're with them or tambourines, and then they're read me out the passage. I've been nice to you. Oh. They're having a party. A jubilee, a festival, and here he come again. He looked like the type that if they're having a party and somebody was on stage singing, he looked like the type to walk up and just snatch the mic. Hey.
Like David Ruffin in The Temptation when he grabbed the mic from Dennis Edwards. It's like, I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. That is exactly what he's doing right now.
I think that's what
David Ruffin.
He has stumbled across the stage drunk, then snatched the mic, and was like, I got something to say. No, don't leave. I don't want everybody to leave. I got something to say.
You know that folks ready to scatter like, nope, I don't want to hear nothing you gotta say. I'm gonna go back.
Michael and Gabriel.
They're like, no.
And Raphael, all the angels is like,
oh, God. And you know they snooty too. Oh my God. Here he is again.
Isn't this his loser that we kicked out eons ago? Like, why is he here?
Hello, Lucifer. How can we help you? So God says, where have you come from? He asks Satan again, the same thing. It's the same setup.
I'm telling you.
As in the first chapter.
My man is sneaking in the club.
Where have you come from? And he answered, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on. You cocky son. Okay. Then the Lord said to him, have you noticed my servant Job? Here's the same spiel again about his integrity. He's a God-fearing man, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. Satan says, skin for skin. A man will give up everything he has to save his life, but reach out and take away his health, and he will surely curse you to your face. Ooh. The Lord says, all right, do with him as you please, but spare his life.
So
yeah.
At this point, if Satan put down 10 and the Lord gave and matched the 10 and raised that another 5. So he already has won that money, right? He took that pile that first day. He came out the winner. He got his $25.
Yeah.
At this point, he raised them again. The stakes was a bit higher, so he put down 50. Lord put down 50 and was like, do what you gotta do.
Right.
Let's see who win this one.
So I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for y'all. It says here, so Satan left the Lord's presence and he struck Job with the terrible boils from head to foot. Job scraped his skin with a piece of broken pottery as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, "Are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die."
Okay, first of all, she ain't a ride or die.
She's not.
Because you not going to sit and tell me.
She's not even trying to help him.
First of all, why am I sitting at... First, that made my skin crawl a bit and I got itchy. But yeah, I'm sitting here. I got to scrape my own skin. Where are you at? Again, we had wealth and riches.
Right.
So I've been providing for you. And now that I'm going through something, you talking about, oh, why don't you just curse and die? Why? Why you want me to curse and die? Because you just want to go ahead and marry someone else and take over the land while I'm gone? Right. Like, why you trying to rush me to die, girl?
What kind of vows did they take?
Right.
Because this is not for better or for worse right here.
No.
So Job says to her, "You talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad?" So in all this, Job said nothing wrong. So my man sat there with boils. His skin is peeling. It's probably pussing over, and he's probably bleeding. He can't sit still because it's on his butt, and he can't even like function. But through all of this, he said, "God got me." And his wife was like, "You fool." She probably wouldn't even rub no aloe or nothing on him.
She better be glad she wasn't married to Samson. He would have called her a heifer.
Anybody else would have been like, "Girl, get out of my face."
Right.
What is wrong with you?
Like, you're not doing your job. Listen, if it was me and I was Job, I would have been like, "I probably got this from you." Okay?
I would have been petty as well.
Right. I would have been petty. Like, have you checked your rear end?
Have you been with somebody
Right.
else?
Have you been doing something you ain't supposed to do? Did you sit on a dirty pot lately, ma'am?
Because where were you when we lost our children?
Right. Because it
you
sure
went silent.
did not say that she was present at all then. Who knows what she was doing? No. But I'm sure she was faithful. But yeah, how dare you? Like, again, this ain't, like we said, this, even though, Jezebel was wrong, she still was a ride or die for Ahab. She still stood beside him.
She did.
Okay, so Job's wife is definitely not.
I'm going to stand beside him.
She's not sticking beside
She's
him.
not. She's definitely the example of what not to do when your man is down. Because, ooh, I know sometimes they make it hard for us, but and at the end of the day, we still gonna stand by you. But this heifer was like, she's like, "Don't touch me."
Right.
You have balls on your skin.
Okay, pause for a second because now let's be honest. I'm gonna look at it from her perspective.
Okay.
If she had to go to the grocery store or to the market to go pick something up, I'm pretty sure the woman like, ain't that Job's wife? The man who covering all boils? I know she ain't bring herself out here to the public.
Is she contagious?
Right. Is that contagious? Like, could she be out here touching stuff? People walking and grabbing their children and snatching them up. Like, no, don't talk to that lady. Don't move around her. So I can a little bit kind of feel.
I get that.
For her.
But what she should have done was like, "That's my man. Yes, he's got some boils right now. Do you know what we all been through? Do you know what's happening in our household?"
Yes. Because I know for me and my man, I am that loud woman. What you looking at?
Right.
I mean, like, what y'all looking at? Yeah, he got boils. So what? And I would have took pieces of skin that he peeled up and flicked it at your forehead. You better keep on moving somewhere. But they tell me, ain't nothing to see here. Keep it moving.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. I get very violent about my man. Okay,
as you should,
I will
baby.
fight.
As you should. Okay. So here we got Job. Got these boils all over his skin. So now it moves on to he's got some homies that want to come by and I have so many problems with this part, y'all. But let y'all judge for yourselves. So it says, when 3 of Job's friends heard of the tragedy he suffered, they got together and traveled from their homes to comfort and console him. They got
that's nice.
Okay. They got some names, y'all. So give me some time here. Their names were Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. Let me take my glasses off. The Naamathite. Okay. So we're gonna call them Eli, Bill, and Zoe.
That's fine by me because y'all know I will tear up a name.
Cool. When they saw Job from a distance, they scarcely recognized him. Wailing loudly, they tore their robes and threw dust in the air over their heads to show their grief. They showed out, basically.
So there was...
I ain't done no.
Okay, so hold on. I do appreciate a friend that will be like, girl, you going through it, I'm going to go through it with you. You know, girl, you having a hard time. Don't worry, I'm going to come on. We gonna watch. You going through a breakup? Let's put on... What's a good breakup movie?
Waiting to Exhale? No.
Sure, I don't know.
Okay.
We gonna cry and eat some ice cream together.
Waiting to Exhale, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate them being like, we got you, bro.
Yeah.
We here for you.
But they did the most, though. They did the most.
Now, yes, I do not like those people though who be extra dramatic.
Yeah, this ain't no fit.
First of all, because don't outshine my grief.
That's why I'm side-eyeing him. I'm like, y'all doing a lot. So
you feel that's what they was doing?
Yes. So Joe's probably standing in front of his house like, oh Lord, here they go. Oh God. He lied about this.
He probably know how his business. Which one do you think was the most dramatic?
Zoe.
Why?
Because his name was Zoe. Zoe was like, Joe. My ace. Are you okay? This is Joe like, I'm fine. So
right.
So just get up. My body hurts enough as it is. Please get up.
Right. Like, listen, I don't need all that extra.
Get off the floor. Put the dirt down.
Half of my skin is falling off. Okay? It hurts to breathe.
Oh, my God.
And here you come with all the drama.
The drama. But like you said, they are good friends for even doing this because they sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to Job. They saw that his suffering was too great for words. Now that's fine.
That's fine because what can you say?
Right.
Oh,
really, what can you say?
I'm sorry that all your kids died and you lost all of your land and you lost it all on the same day, and then the very next day you were struck with boils.
Thank you for those kind words. I'll be like, just.
That's it. It literally goes into silence because there's nothing to say.
There's nothing to say.
You can't console me in this moment. There's nothing to really uplift my spirits at this moment.
And I don't know how it is for you, but like when I'm going through something, sometimes I do value silence. You don't have to say much. Mm-hmm. You know, just be like, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. But all that talking and trying to make me see things from different, you know, I just be like, shut up. like, okay, like my grandma's gone. You can't bring her back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just stop. Just be here.
See, and I'm the opposite because I'm ghetto.
Oh, Jesus.
So when I'm going through stuff, like if I am very, you know, down and out, because I want the distraction. Yeah. So I'll either turn on music, like, you know, through the house and sing and like put on either my favorite like gospel album and or rap album, whatever it is. And if it's me and my family, as we discussed during our recap of childhood experience and family experiences, we turn things into a celebration somehow or some type of family reunion.
So has it always been like that with your family?
It has.
Then maybe that's why I'm like that, because it takes me a while to get to the celebration point. Like I don't feel good until
let me rephrase the term celebration.
Or there's another word we can use here instead of celebration. Party.
Because it really ain't a celebration. We just turn stuff into...
The celebration of life?
No.
Or just...
we just drink and party through our sorrows.
Okay. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just takes me a minute to get there. Mm-hmm. Like, I for real, I'll be like, nope. Let me cry. You know, like, it ain't gonna be right away. So I do understand that the three friends, you know, Eli, Bill, and Zoe, sat there with him but 7 days, that was a long time.
Right.
So what do you think the wife was doing?
Right.
She was like, you gonna come inside and eat, Job?
I'm pretty sure when she saw them coming down the driveway from her window, she was like, oh God, here they come.
They're so dramatic.
Now not only is he sitting outside covered in boils, here come his three friends. And one of them is though, I gotta deal with his drama. Let me put on a good face. Joe,
Yes, babe.
Do you need anything? You and your friends?
No, we're just gonna sit out
You
here.
sure?
Nah, I'm good.
No, I mean I can bring you some water or something.
No, we're just gonna sit outside.
Okay, all right.
But you going already?
Door closed. She back in there
Here you go.
watching her soaps.
Here you go. Did y'all want some water? Cause I can go get it. Okay, no. Yeah, she gone.
Yeah. She gone. Cause she said I ain't got time for this.
But you know what? I do have just really quickly. I have some best friends that would do that too. They would probably drop everything and come on by and just do whatever needs to be done.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Like especially when it's a major sorrowful things happening.
Yep.
Then yeah, because you do get it. Like when I lost my mom, it hit hard, right? It was like I'm laid out. I don't want to do nothing. So I did have the friends that let me just bring you some meals. Let me get the kids to school for you. Let me, what do you need? Do you need something clean? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, so when things are that bad,
Right.
it is good to have, good friends that will come in and support you.
Because I remember when my grandmother passed away, I was actually in college and I was taking a final exam. And then I got the news that she was, going down. I'm in Orlando, Florida. My family is in Lauderdale, Florida. That's south. That's 4 hours away.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in no position to drive from here to there without, something happening to me. So my best friend took me.
Oh,
And we left at like 4 something or maybe earlier than that. But it was dark by the time we got home. But the fact is that she still was able to drive me down there because I was like, I don't know what to do. Again, me. The dramatics will ensue. I was like, I don't even know where my keys at. I don't know what to do. She's like, come on, I got you. So she did that. So.
Yeah. As my kids say, my kids don't like how I give news to them because
y'all mamas do it really bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a mama thing. I just think it's my personality. I'm very just straightforward. So
is mama.
I'm like, hey, so I unfortunately have some bad news. And they're like, oh, kids, what happened or what's going on? So grandpa's dead.
I am not laughing at it.
And I can't because that's what happens. And that's just how that's just how I am. And so it's to the point now that unfortunately sometimes when I'm like, hey guys, we all need to get together and talk. And they're like, Lord, who died, Mom? And I'm like, no, it's just nobody died. I just want to have a conversation about chores or whatever. So
we being me and my sisters have always said that our mother delivers news terribly. So she does shoot straight from the hip. She can't help it because I guess like you, she just wants to get it just get it out.
yeah,
And sitting on it and going through all that would probably take her.
I'm definitely a rip the Band-Aid person.
Yeah.
Rip it off.
I don't even know. Am I ripping the Band-Aid off? I don't know. Do it again?
Okay. Sorry. It's just quick.
Oh my God. I don't know if I'm like that. I'll let you know when I do
I don't like when people because that's how I am. I don't like people to skate around stuff.
Yeah.
So because my dad, remember I told you was in Vegas and my sisters and them. So when he passed and they tried to call and tell me, it was a lot of stuttering and I'm like, what?
It's hard though.
What's going on?
It's hard to just blurt it out. So I don't blame them for that. Okay, y'all. Let's move on and let's hear from Job because at last Job has something to say. The South got something to say.
Okay.
He says he cursed the day of his birth.
Oh,
this is
man.
sad. He says, let the day of my birth be erased and the night I was conceived. And the night you was conceived too? Let that day be turned to darkness. Let it be lost even to God on high and let no light shine on it. Let the darkness and utter gloom claim that day for its own. Let a black cloud overshadow it. Let the darkness terrify it. He goes on and on and on. It even goes, let that night be childless. Let it have no joy. Let those who are experts at cursing, whose cursing could rouse a fire, then curse that day. He's going on and on.
Wait a minute. Let the day of cursing, like cursing?
I suppose so.
So he was just dropping F-bombs. Like who up here a good cursor?
Right. It goes on. It says, "Why wasn't I born dead? Why didn't I die as I came from the womb? Had I died at birth, I would now be at peace." And he's still going. "Why wasn't I buried like a stillborn child? Even captives are at ease in death with no guard to curse him. Rich and poor are both there, and the slave was free from his master." He's going on, so he's reaching his breaking point.
Do you think it's all this came because you read this very calmly? Do you think that's how he sounded, or do you think he was like, "Wow, wow, why was I born?" But like he said, "Let the day of my birth be erased, and the night I was conceived.
Okay.
Let that day be turned into darkness. Let it be lost, even to God on high.
I'm getting out.
Let a black cloud overshadow it. Let it have no joy."
This is so.
Why was I not born dead?
This is not.
Why not die as I came from the womb? I would be asleep in that rest. I would rest.
Oh my God.
For the devil will wake in my mind, when I read the story, that's how I envisioned him in this moment, because I think he had it. It had hit him so hard. He was like, I don't know. Like, for me, this is me. Oh no, what I did. Oh no, should I be alive? Like, what can I do? I don't even know what to do.
You know, I'm laughing, but we have all had those moments. What did I do?
Right.
What did I give before? Why is it me? What is happening? I was chuckling when you were doing your rendition of how he was just cursing his life, because I'm going back to the Wiz. Do you remember? Do you remember when they encountered the poison poppies and the lion and Dorothy passed out?
Yeah, because we talked about that back in
what?
in Noah.
Yeah. So in the movie, when the lion comes to wake back up and he realizes Dorothy is still passed out, he gets all emotional. He said, "Almighty Zeus!" He was like, "Cursed be the day that this made you mine." Like, he was going in. And Michael Jackson, and they were like, "What the hell?"
Scarecrow was like, hey, calm down. She's coming too. Because it was and so if y'all have still not watched this movie, I don't know how y'all made it all the way in their season 2, and y'all have not gone to watch The Wiz as much as we bring this up.
It's on Netflix right now.
But the Tin Man.
Oh my gosh.
He cries tears. That's the only like form of liquid he has, and it magically is enough to like splash on her face and wake her up. But meanwhile, the lion is all laid out on the ground, just like saying like Miss J just said, just like, "Why? Curse you, Zeus. Bring her back to us because we can't carry on."
He was like, "Take me instead." He tried to jump off the building.
He was so dramatic. And I imagine this is Zoe. Him as Zoe's character. Because it's so dramatic. Like, oh, no. It is Dorothy who's passed out.
Right.
Not you.
Right.
It's Job going through this.
Right.
Not you. But you are here saying, "Wow, not my friend. Take me, Lord, instead." She was so kind.
See, and that's why Job was quiet, because he had all this to say. So when Zoe was out there doing the most, he's like, "I'm going to let him go. I'm going to let him go because I'm going to have my moment later." So
it may have been that he already knew the dramatics, and maybe there was some sort of other conversation outside of them saying the 7 days of silence. Maybe some other thing happened where Zoe was wilding,
right,
and finally had worked Job up so much that he was like, "What? What always severe has happened to me? What dreaded has to come?"
This is bad. This is so bad.
Listen, I pre-warned y'all. I told y'all I was going to cut up during the Job episode.
Oh my gosh. So after Job gets all that out, he has his moment. One of his boys decides to speak to him. And that's,
"I have no peace."
It's Eli. Eliphaz, we calling him Eli. So while he's in the middle of all that, Eli says, will you be patient and let me say a word? For who could keep from speaking out?
Like I said,
I've sat here for 7 days.
My man Job is wailing at this point.
I've been here 7 days with you, and you have reached your breaking point. I'm gonna speak up for you. I'm gonna help you out. I got you. And this is beautiful. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is like, and they're meant to.
I can't. Let me get it together because again, I'm still just imagining. Because when y'all go back to read it, it was Job chapter 3 when he's just going through this. It's like the whole chapter is in wailing, and he's just carrying on. And Eli like, man, let me just get a word in.
He was like, Job. Job. Give me your, look at me. Cause you know that's how we do.
Yes, the man has lost everything. He has a
get it
right,
together.
He has a right to be in his feelings. You think Eli slapped him?
You know he did. It's not written in here, but you know he did.
Get it together.
Ow. Okay. All right. Let me move on. It says, will you be patient and let me say a word? For who could keep from speaking out? In the past, you've encouraged many people. You strengthened those who are weak. Your words have supported those who are failing. It goes on. But now when trouble strikes, you lose your heart. You are terrified when it touches you. Doesn't your reverence for God give you confidence? Doesn't your life of integrity give you hope? Stop and think. Do the innocent die? And he's going on and he's giving him words of encouragement. Mm-hmm. There's even a part here it says, let me go back to make sure I got it here. My experience shows that those who plant trouble and cultivate evil will harvest the same. A breath from God destroys them. They vanish in a blast of his anger. The lion roars and the wildcat snarls. But the teeth of strong lions will be broken. The fierce lion will starve for the lack of prey, and the cubs of the lions will be scattered. This truth was given to me in secret, as though it was whispered in my ear. It came to me in a disturbing vision at night. For when people are in a deep sleep, fear gripped me, my bones trembled, my spirit swept past my face. He's having a bad dream, basically. And my hair stood on end. The spirit stopped, but I couldn't see its shape. There was a form before my eyes. In the silence, I heard a voice say, can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone be pure before the Creator? So it goes on again. He's still talking about what to do when you're down.
Right.
Encouragement for dummies, basically.
Wow.
So now he really stood up. And in the next chapter, he's still going on about trying to get Job to see what's going on here. So I'm going to skip further. It says right here in chapter 5, if I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him.
Wait, which verse are you?
I
see it.
Okay.
Verse 8. Okay.
Yes. If I were you, I would go to God and present my case to him. He does great things too marvelous to understand. He performs This is like the way I'm sorry. Bro. Okay. No, I can't do this. Hold on. They live in Uz. It's 4 of them. It's Job, Eli, Bildad, and Zoe. We've established that. Stop. Don't look at me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I have uncovered yet another part of life. Who wrote the Wizard of Oz? That guy's name. Not Roald Dahl. Oh my God. Or something.
No,
O'Neill.
it starts with L.
L. Baum. Frank L. Baum.
Is it Frank L. Baum? Let me go look it up.
Okay. While she does that, Frank L. Baum was reading Job when he wrote The Wizard of Oz.
A lot of great works, they say, does come from the Bible. Like they even say, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The guy who wrote that was a devout Christian, and say that.
I'm just saying, because if you're telling me that Eli was telling him, hey, he performs countless miracles.
Frank Baum.
Mm-hmm. He performs countless miracles. He gives rain for the earth. Like it just sounds so, it's like parallel to like what happens in The Wizard of Oz.
It does. But I kind of feel, now I kind of feel like what you said earlier, though, because my man has gone on 2 chapters on his speech.
It's a long speech.
Are you really giving the speech to give words of encouragement to Job? Or are you just talking just to make yourself sound, like I'm full of wisdom? Don't you know that, the angels have suffered and the lions to go through suffering and so how are you any different? You just need to kind of get up and prove yourself and
So what are we saying? Is Eli's advice, quote unquote, good or bad?
I feel like he's just talking and be talking. But that's just me. But the fact that he goes into talking about cry for help, but will anyone answer you? Which of the angels will help you? Surely resentment destroys the fool, and jealousy kills the simple. I've seen fools that may be successful for the moment, then comes sudden disaster. Their children are abandoned far from help. They are crushed in court with no one to defend them. And then again, he's still going on. And then he goes, like you said, if I were you, I would go talk to God and present my case to him. Excuse you. Don't be telling me what if I were you. You know what? Because you ain't. See, this is
where you come in.
This is when all of the blackness would have killed me. But you ain't me. You know what? You haven't lost your kids. You ain't lose your land. Your wife ain't looking at you crazy. You ain't got boils all over your body that you scraping on the thing. So don't come up in here and cut me off from my moment and tell me if you was me what you would do.
You remember in Steel Magnolias when Shelby died? Have you seen something like that?
Girl, yes.
Okay. Remember when, what's that lady name with the glasses? She was like, just rejoice that she's in heaven with her Lord. She's like, girl, I want her with me.
Right.
The mom was like, I want her with me. I'm sure it's good for you, but I want her here in the present. That's what that reminded me of.
Right. Don't,
you don't work for everybody.
I also don't like when people be like,
it does not work for everybody.
If I were you, I would do. Don't tell me if you was me what you would do, because you're not. You don't know and understand my pain and struggle until you've gone through it yourself.
And I think as people, we just can't help ourselves because we want to give solutions so bad. Even if I've never been through it before, I just want to tell you, hey, well, you could do this or you could try to do that.
Right.
It's just like an innate thing that we just
My
do.
man Eli is mansplaining. Is what it sounds like to me. You know what, you can do this and then you can do that and this and if I was you I'd do that and da. Sometimes you be looking at people like, first of all, I didn't ask you for your advice. I didn't ask you. If I was Joe, I'd be like, I ain't asked y'all to come here. Did I call you? Did I write for you? Did I send for you?
But that's your best friend, though. That's your man's in them.
I mean, okay, so if you my best friend and you my man's in them, then just be here for me. You be here for me with silence, and you need to be here for me when I'm wailing. If I'm crying, you crying. But don't come up in here now talking about if you was me, what you would do.
So if you were in Job's place, you would rather them be quiet the entire time. Don't nobody say nothing.
Yes.
For 7 straight days.
I'm the one going through it. You gonna deal with my quietness one moment, and then you gonna deal with me well in another moment.
I can imagine Eli to you. I just want to say, I got one thing I want to tell you. Just one thing. Can I say one thing?
No. Don't say nothing to me at all, because right now I'm the one going through this. If you feel like you can't suffer through it with me and suffer all the way along, then you better you might as well go ahead and get up off this pile of dirt with the rest of us and go inside and go sit with Mabel. Because right, I done gave her name, called her Mabel.
She sound like a Mabel.
Right. Go on in there with Mabel then. If you can't sit here and you can go through it with me. I ain't got time for you and your advice right now. I'm not at the moment and place to receive your advice.
Man. So Job has a response in chapter 6 that's kind of similar to what you just said, just about. Because it says in verse 2, if my misery could be weighed and my troubles be put on the scales, they would outweigh all the sands of the sea. This is why I spoke impulsively, for the Almighty has struck me down with his arrows. So he's acknowledging how he wants Eli to acknowledge how he feels, and not for Eli to just be like, go to God, go to God.
Right.
He's like, listen to me. This is what I am going through. And it says in verse 5, don't I have a right to complain? Don't wild donkeys bray when they find no grass, and oxen bellow when they have no food? Don't people complain about unsalted food? We do. Does anyone want the taste as white of an egg?
Wow.
My appetite disappears when I look at it. I gag at the thought of eating it. So yeah, he's basically saying I have a right to voice my displeasure.
All my kids are dead. I absolutely have a right to be
And you gonna
upset.
let me have this right. And it says in verse 14, one should be kind to a fainting friend, but you accuse me without any fear of the Almighty. My brothers, you have proved as... Let me bring that back. My brothers, you have proved as unreliable as a seasonal brook that overflows its banks.
I told you.
Spring,
I told you.
when it's rolling with ice and melting snow. But when the hot weather arrives, the water disappears. Then the brook vanishes in the heat. The caravans turn aside to be refreshed, but there is nothing to drink, so they die. He's basically calling them fair weather friends.
Be your fair weather friend. I'll be there through the end.
And be your stormy weather.
Time and time again. I'll be your... That's Johnny Gill, you guys.
Yes, from the 80s. And then he says, but you two have given no help. No, you too, not TWOTOO, have given no help. You have seen my calamity. You are afraid. But why? Have I ever asked you for a gift? Have I ever begged for anything of yours or myself?
I'm sorry. I told you that's my favorite story because I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay? He was just like, you know what? Y'all done showed up. You ain't offering me no help at all. I'm going through some stuff.
This is juicy,
you over here talking about, oh, well, you must, you need to just go, well, you need to go to God. Don't you think I've already gone to God?
Yo, he shut Eli up on this. Honest words can be painful, but what do your criticisms amount to? Do you think your words are convincing when you disregard my cry of desperation? You would even send an orphan into slavery or sell a friend. Look at me. Would I lie to your face? Stop assuming my guilt, for I have done no wrong. Do you think I am lying? Don't I know the difference between right and wrong?
Come on, Job. You better tell him.
Dang. Oh, it goes. Ooh. Is not all human life a struggle? Our lives are like that of a hired hand, like a worker who longs for the shade, like a servant waiting to be paid. I, too, have been assigned months of futility, long and weary nights of misery, lying in bed, and I think, when will it be morning? But the night drags on, and I toss till dawn. My body is still covered with maggots and scabs. My skin breaks open and oozing with pus.
So at this point, Job looks like, what movie is that where the man's...
Don't do it. Don't do it. Do it. Where you going with this?
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Who's in it?
I don't even remember. I just remember the man who was just like, like his whole face was basically falling apart. The nose was coming off.
80s or 90s?
I feel like it's a 90s movie.
I'm drawing a blank. You know what?
No, go ahead.
I remember the movie The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. How he was morphing into the fly and he looked crazy and his skin was like sliding off.
Yes. So it was similar to that, right? Like he's pulling stuff almost like that scene from Poltergeist. Y'all, that's my favorite scary movie. Where the guy, when they were
Don't say that out loud.
What? The movie?
That's your favorite.
Scary.
I know, but still.
It's Steven Spielberg. I love Steven Spielberg movies.
Fine.
Anyways, go on the light, Carol Ann.
I gotta go to bed by myself.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, when the one guy, he went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror. When they hired the people to come to the house to help figure out what was going on, and the guy was like, "Yeah, there's something weird going on, but I don't know." Because remember, the black guy went to go eat the chicken, and the chicken started crawling across the thing, and then the one guy had went into the bathroom, and then part of his face started falling off. Oh. It's almost like that. Like I feel like he literally he's. First of all, boils are very painful. So not only are things sitting on top of my skin, I'm in pain. as well.
I don't remember if I've ever had a boil or not.
I haven't, but a family member of mine has, and it's boil. I don't know how you get them. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's a blood. Well, I don't know if it's considered a blood infection. Let me see. That's a good question. But you continue while.
All right, while she's doing that. So Job. This is Job speaking to Eli, and then he ends up crying out to God as well. It says, "My days fly faster than a weaver's shuttle." I'm going to skip that part. He says right here. It's a lot to read. I'm not going to do it, but it's a lot. But basically, he's saying to God, "What are people that you should make so much of us, that you should think of us so often? For you examine us every morning and test us every moment. Why won't you leave me alone? At least long enough for me to swallow. Dang, if I have sinned, what have I done to you? Oh, watcher of all humanity, why make me your target? Why am I a burden to you? Why not just forgive my sin and take away my guilt? For as soon as I lie down in the dust and die, when you look for me, I'll be gone. You're gonna look for me and I'll be gone. You're gonna look.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Going up yonder.
Oh.
The Hammer version, though.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? That's why we pray. 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 We need to pray just to make it today. Listen, I used to love my MC Hammer pants. Oh, and that's back in the day. But so is this like a situation where he's finally like breaking down?
Oh, he's broke. He is gone. Okay. If he done broke down talking to Eli, now he's broken down talking to God, and we don't know yet where God and Satan are at this moment. I don't know if it's Satan went back up there to taunt him and be like, told you so, or what.
Right.
So in chapter 8, we get a response from Bildad. He been quiet this whole time.
So Eli spoke first.
Yes.
Billy and Zoe still on the side.
Yes.
Watching them two go back and forth. Oh, and boils, by the way, are an infection from an ingrown hair.
Ooh.
So if you have an ingrown hair follicle and it gets infected, it gets the pus and becomes this big boil. So as we all know, most men have a lot of hair on their body.
Oh.
So I'm imagining every single hair follicle is a boil. So it's almost like my man got mumps, measles type thing, like big bumps all over his body.
Oh, that's gross.
Yep.
Okay. So,
just for y'all to have visual.
That's fine. I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna skip right on past that because that's nasty. Okay, so Bildad says to Job, now he's over it. He says, "How long will you go on like this? You sound like a blustering wind."
Wow.
Does God twist justice? Does the Almighty twist what is right? Your children must have sinned against him, so their punishment was well deserved.
Wow. Some friend you turn out to be, Phil. Now you want to talk about, well, my kids must have did something in order for them to be punished and killed?
I would have snapped. I'd been like, get from around.
I'm tell y'all, y'all wouldn't have made it to no chapter 9 because what you not gonna do?
This book would have been closed early.
Sure would. And like as soon as it said, "All your kids," there you go. Story's over.
Okay. So I'm not gonna go into all of what Bildad says because Job has to respond to that too. He says, "Yes, I know all this is true in principle, but how can a person be declared innocent in God's sight?" So they're going back and forth at this point. He's saying one thing, his friends are saying another. He's like, "Listen to me." They're like, "Nah, listen to God." And they're blaming him or blaming his children or the circumstances for the reason as to why he lost everything so suddenly.
What was the reason? Sorry.
Job says, "I am innocent, but it makes no difference to me. I despise my life. Innocent or wicked, it is all the same to God. That's why I say he destroys both the blameless and the wicked. When the plague sweeps through, he laughs at the death of the innocent." So he's like unhinged right now. What is it? What is it, girl? What is it? What is it, girl?
Can I do something quick?
Go ahead.
I'm innocent. Innocent.
I'm leaving. I am getting up.
If y'all don't know, that's one of my favorite black moments of history.
Murder. Murder was a case that they gave me. Murder.
It's from Snoop Dogg. The D.O.G.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, murder was the case they gave me. I love that.
Oh,
And he just
man.
talked to that judge in the courtroom. I'm innocent. Innocent. Oh no, that was a speech.
He
Yeah.
did it on a live performance too.
Yeah, it was the live performance. Was it Source Awards?
It was like MTV or something.
Yeah.
It
And
was
everybody was
so-
like, yeah, because people say something. He was like, I'm innocent. Innocent.
Are you?
I'm sorry. Okay, I just had
You
to
know,
get that
I
out.
don't. I mean, I remember the whole details of that case. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he got off. That's what
that's
all I
all-
can
that's all-
say.
that's
All
all
right.
we know, and look at it
Innocent
now.
until proven guilty.
okay, right. So we're gonna carry on because I don't want no smoke, literally. So now we have a response from Zoe. So you and I have established that Zoe was the dramatic one in the beginning. So maybe this is why he went third.
Yeah, they
Okay.
saved him for last.
So he says to Job, shouldn't someone answer this torrent of words?
Wait,
Is
where
a
are you?
person
I'm sorry.
proved innocent just by a lot of talking? Should I remain silent while you babble on? When you, my God, shouldn't someone make you ashamed? You claim my beliefs are pure and I'm in clean sight of God. If God would only speak, if only he would tell you what he thinks. If only he would tell you the secrets of wisdom, for true wisdom is not a simple matter. Listen, God is doubtless punishing you far less than you deserve.
Do you think because they've been outside for 7 days that it got the best of them to where they was just
They're all
like,
delirious?
Yeah, they're delirious and they're like, I can't sit with you no more. I can't sit here. Ain't nothing happening. You're not changing. We don't know what's going on. It's gotta be you.
I'm going to say yes, because Joel's response reflects that. He says to Zoe, you people really know everything, don't you?
He snapped.
And when you die, wisdom will die with you. Well, I know a few things myself, and you're no better than I am. Who doesn't know these things you've been saying? Yet my friends laugh at me for I call on God and expect an answer. I am just a blameless man, yet they laugh at me. People who are at ease mock those in trouble. Oh, that's a word. I'm going to say that one more time. People who are at ease mock those in trouble.
That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, so it's
Hallelujah.
easy for you guys to give me advice
Hallelujah.
and tell me what I should be doing and talking about, okay, fine. One time about, you should be doing this, you should do that. So you had the one friend who was mansplaining and think they knew everything. You had the second friend who was like, it must have been something that you've done or something your kids did. And now you have the third friend who's just like, you know what? Just admit it. It sounds to me like Zoe was like, just admit it. We came here. We your friend anyway. Just admit what you did. Whatever it is that you did, you know you had to do something in order for God to strike you. Just admit it.
Man.
So yeah, I mean, it just seems to me like that's what Zoe was all about.
Yeah.
He's just like, you just again, I think they all are delirious because they Maybelline ain't making no food.
And they're just out there in the hot sun.
Right. Mabel was like, I'm not getting done with y'all. And so he out there like, yeah, just admit it. Just admit it. We ain't
So
gonna
they're
judge you.
basically
Just admit it.
arguing.
Yeah. So it's like y'all not providing him any. First of all, again, he didn't ask y'all to come.
Right.
He didn't ask you for no solutions. But he for sure didn't ask for your judgment. And it's turning out to now they're judging him.
That's messed up. That's not real friends.
Right.
Friends.
Oh, dang. How many of us have them?
So I'm going to just condense a lot here because the crew goes back and forth for like a good 10, 15 chapters in this book.
Right. And you said another friend shows
Another friend
up.
pops up named Elihu, and we have jumped over to chapter 32. And another friend comes up named Elihu, son of the Barakel. Him. Mm-hmm. Yep. And he probably knew ahead of time that the three friends was gonna go see Job, because
Right.
the text tells us that he's a younger guy. So maybe word got out that, like, those three went to go see Job. I'm up them had a moment, but I gotta go see him myself.
Right.
So it says here, he was also angry with Job's friends, for they made God appear to be wrong by their inability to answer Job's arguments. So he waited for the others to speak to Job because they were older, so he's showing a little respect. Mm-hmm. And then it says, but when he saw that they had no further reply, he spoke out angrily. So my man was sitting back. He was like, I'm just waiting to just get my word in, because you three numbskulls are not giving him any comfort in solutions and resolutions here. Mm-hmm. It says, I am young, you are old. Okay, thanks. Gee, thanks.
Okay, the shade
Gen
is
Z.
real. Right.
So I held back from telling you what I think. I thought those who are older should speak, for wisdom comes with age. That's where that comes from. But there is a spirit within people, that the breath of the Almighty within them, that makes them intelligent. Sometimes the elders are not wise. Sometimes the aged do not understand justice. So listen to me and tell me what you think. I have waited all this time, listening carefully to your arguments, listening to you grope for words. I have listened, but not one of you has refuted Job or answered his arguments. Only God can convince him. If Job had been arguing with me, I will not answer with your kind of logic. You sit there baffled with nothing to say. Should I continue to wait now that you're silent? Must I remain silent? No, I'm going to say my piece. I'm going to speak my mind. So dang. Elihu was not trying to play with them.
Right. So where are you at right now?
This is chapter 32.
Oh, okay.
And if we keep going, just in the sake of time.
So Elihu done popped off, because
Yes.
he started talking from chapter 32 all the way to 36.
He is mad to the point now. Finally, I really don't want to say finally, but now the Lord's like, I've had enough. I'm gonna help him out here. And the Lord pops up in chapter 38, and he says, the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind. The whirlwind.
Getting back to his reverse.
Oh God,
He's appeared in a tornado.
I'm sorry.
I wonder if he showed up in a robe too, like he probably was frustrated. Okay, y'all down here, y'all over here giving him false wisdom, okay?
Oh my gosh, I cannot. But the Lord says, who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Brace yourself like a man. He's talking to Job here, because I have some questions for you and you must answer them. So I don't want to get into all this. It's a lot. So basically God is like calling Job out on his stuff. He was like, look, haven't I been there for you?
Right.
Have I not been there for you all this time?
Right.
You're just going through a hardship. I'm still here. I ain't leave you, my man.
Right. He's like, basically, listen, who built this earth? Who laid the foundations? Who put the waters in the sea? Who put the sky up or who put the blue clouds up in the sky? Who put the sky? Who put darkness in day and broke them in the night? Like, hello? Why y'all keep forgetting who I am?
Poor Job. Let me just read what Job says. Job was listening. He's like, I am nothing. How could I ever find these answers? I will cover my mouth with my hand. I have said too much already. I have nothing more to say. So then the Lord comes again. This is in chapter 40. The Lord comes again and says, from the whirlwind, I got some more questions for you, and you gonna answer them. And it goes on from there. Like, this is like really like deep, because to have the Lord come to you, to your face, and challenge you to remain faithful, that's a lot.
It is.
I'd have been like, yeah, you're right. We don't need to go any further. You right. You got it. I'm good. I'm sorry I was tripping.
Why is there even a back and forth for 2, 3, 4 chapters? I mean, here's what I do think. I do appreciate the Lord finally coming back and popping off, because all from Genesis all the way up through Job, these people have been acting funky and he been trying to get them to get right. He been frustrated, and finally he's like, you know what? First of all, you costing me some money, bruh. All right, I put 50 on you, and you making me look bad. So he finally has to show up and be like, dang, like did you? Like, let me remind you, just like you said a few chapters ago, everything you got because of me.
Right.
Everything.
Right. I can't believe Satan won the bid.
Like, at the end of the day, you got what you got because of me. So stop acting like you don't know that.
Right.
So obviously, if everything I took away from you, I can and give it right back.
Girl, speaking of that, as we gonna just bring this all to a close here. So Job finally says, you got it. Chapter 42, verse 6. I take back everything I said, and I sit in dust and ashes to show my repentance. It took you how many chapters to do this, bro? He could have done that in chapter 7 or something? When the 3 friends showed up. You know what? Yep. It's not you, God, it's me. That's what he could have did. So, and then the end of all this, the Lord says to Job, well, after he's finished lambasting Job, like, you dummy, he says to Eli, the first Eli, he says, I am angry with you and your 2 friends, for you have not spoken accurately about me, as my servant Job has. So take 7 bulls and 7 rams and go to my servant Job and offer a burnt offering for yourselves. My servant Job will pray for you, and I will accept his prayer on your behalf. I will not treat you as you deserve, for you have not spoken accurately about me, as Job has. So the 3 friends did what they were commanded to do, and they did that. And then, let's see, Job prayed for his friends. The Lord restored his fortunes. And the Lord, we heard this all the time. It says, the Lord gave him twice as much as before. And there's a certain phrase, it escapes my mind right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
What was
double for your trouble?
Yeah, double for your trouble.
Right.
Like, what it's taken from you will come back to you double for your trouble.
Right.
But I just appreciate the fact, like I said, my man done popped up and was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. Let me explain to you who I am.
Right.
And then I love the fact that he turned around and said, and another thing. Let me tell you something, Eli.
Right.
You was up in here running your mouth mansplaining,
right.
and you was loud and wrong. So at the end of the day,
right.
now you need to go and run some sacrifices and get yourself together, because obviously you didn't know who the God said you don't know who the F I am. That's pretty much what he said. Like, what's wrong with you people?
Oh, my God. So, as we come to a close on this chapter,
he said, mess around and find out. You think when God appeared, he appeared with the white folding chair?
I want to get up so bad. He probably did have the white folding chair. First of all, he threw his hat first. They should have known, like, uh-oh.
Doggone it. What are y'all doing? That was the chair. That was him sitting in the chair now. Okay. Job. And then you 3. And he just went and just let me tell you, I got tore them a new butthole. Because he was just like, y'all don't know what y'all doing, what y'all talking about. Y'all out here acting foolish and out here giving people bad
juju,
bad
vibes.
Juju,
like they were like Debbie Downers, basically.
Debbie Downers, and you giving what do you call it? False wisdom. Like you ain't giving good advice. You giving bad advice. Straight up.
They started off with such promise. I'm like, oh, they came to sit with your friend, but then
yeah, I thought that was sweet too in the beginning, but dang, I'm just like as soon as Eli popped up, I was like, wait a minute, you just talking. It seemed like to me.
You just okay. So let me summarize and tell you what happens with Job here, which is a good thing. Like I said, double for your trouble. Okay. So the Lord blessed Job in the second half of his life with even more than in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So now he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 teams of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. He also gave Job 7 more sons and 3 more daughters.
Wow.
He named his first Jemima? Like Aunt Jemima?
I'm going to leave that alone. Especially the fact that the third one's name was Karen.
Wait, let me go back. Okay. First daughter, Jemima. Second, Kezia. Third, Karen dash Happel.
I'm going to stick with Karen.
It's basically Karen. In all the land, no women were as lovely as the daughters of Job. Oh, so they were baddies. Okay. And their father put them into his will along with their brothers. And Job lived 140 years after that, living to see four generations of his children and grandchildren. Then he died, an old man who lived a long life. And where was Mabel throughout all of this? It does not say. I hope he left her.
Oh, no.
No, I'm serious. Because she sat there and watched him get all these boils and didn't give none of his friends no water. If she gave them water when they first got here, I guarantee you this book would not be as long. Because they would have had more sense in their bodies to say some good stuff.
Right. They wouldn't have been delirious and talking out their yin yang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, listen. That's what they should have done. It almost came off towards the end like they were trying to be up there just to be those, like we talked about before, the people who do things just to show to public. Oh, he was going through that. Y'all, I went over there and sat with him.
Did that happen on that was an argument on the Potomac Housewives. Remember when Karen's mom died? Yeah. And Sharice supposedly had went to the funeral. Oh, mm-hmm. But it was never confirmed. But she's like, well, she only did it for the cameras or for whatever, like that.
Right? Yeah. Because again, you do have people like, well, I went and sat with him through that. Yeah. So I was there. I was there.
Do that.
You have people like that. We have some people we know. I'm not gonna say them that do that. Like, oh well, I was there too, and I was there and I sat with them as well.
What good does that do? Anybody?
I was there. I saw the whole thing.
What good is that?
I don't know. You got them type of people out there.
That's true.
And it seems like that's kind of what they were. I feel like they started off with good intentions, like you said. And again, I think them sitting out there in the sun for 7 days got the best of them. Because they sure started talking outside their neck. Yeah. And all of them got cocky and lost in translation, literally.
They was fake friends. We can.
Oh, wow.
They were.
I mean, he did kind of much pop off on them, and it's just like, why y'all even here? You making me feel worse.
Like right away.
But the fact, that God had his. You think that's why he went down, because he did lose that? Like he won the first round, the second round, he was like, okay. First of all, I would have been mad too if I was God. You were fine praising me after you lost your land, your kids, your animals, and whatever else. You still praise me. But just like Satan pointed out, you took things away. Right? But now that hit him in his health.
Yeah.
And now that you got buzzing him in his health, now that's when you wanna.
That's bad. Is that just a man thing? Because, like, I don't think women would do that. I don't think... that might sound a little sexist, but I don't care. Or feministic. I don't care. Because, like, what are we saying here? Like that men... Okay, let me get my thoughts together here.
Are you saying men value themselves other than the fact that they...
Yeah, because the boils directly affected him. You know what I mean? Like, it was, like... obvious. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying that he didn't feel remorse for his kids passing, because we read on it. But as soon as them boils hit, he was like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I said, I think that's probably what frustrated God. Like that's what got you.
Right. Excuse me. And it's not like a matter of vanity. It's like he was uncomfortable because he didn't say anything about I look like crap. He was just, I can't take this. This is nasty. Stop. But
right.
Like,
my wife ain't talking to me. Mabel will keep looking at me crazy. I can't get none because
I can't hardly sit. Like, I don't, and it's definitely I can't get none. I'm sure that's what it was. She don't want to touch me. Mm-mm. Dude, man, is that a man thing?
I haven't known my wife in days.
But do you see what I'm asking? I'm like,
No, I agree. I think it. Yeah.
You know what it is? I know what it is. As women, we are used to being uncomfortable because it happens to us every month. We have to deal with a whole lot during a certain time of the month. Not only that, we got to deal with childbirth. We got to deal with post-childbirth, during childbirth, pre-childbirth. Okay, we go through a whole lot in our bodies. But the moment these fools get a tick, a paper cut, woe is me, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Because men be like babies when they sick.
They are big babies when they're sick.
Gosh, the Satan was right. It where it hurts to hell. I don't know. I just always said Satan. I don't know why. Like he ghetto, Satan. But yes.
Since he won the bet, what you think he did? You think he took his money and went downstairs and was like, "Hey y'all, guess what?
He ran straight to the crap
Drinks
table.
on me.
Right. Drinks on me, crap table, run it up. He had some dances in the back too.
Oh man.
Wow.
Well, I do appreciate the fact that Job did make that come around and realize, but it took God coming all the way down.
Right.
To be like, what are you doing? And finally he was just like, well, you know what? Everything I said, I take back. You've been complaining for 20 days.
It shouldn't have taken that long because God, even when the bet was made, he was like, you ain't gonna get that one. That man he has integrity. He's wholesome, yada, yada. It should not have taken him that long. It should not have taken him that long for him to be like, all right, I got it. That's a little disappointing, but hey, I'm not God.
True. But I think it goes into the fact that a lot of us are still like that today.
Yeah.
Like we're very quick to forget what he has, done for us.
Hallelujah.
And as soon as one thing go wrong, y'all be cursing God like, my phone is broke. Lord, why? I can never communicate with anyone again. Just take me now because I don't have another $20 to get another phone. Jesus, I don't know. It's just like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not. And the saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. So your phone may be broke today, but tomorrow, Verizon gonna send you another one.
Right. So don't get so caught up in when things are going wrong. Because like we were saying in the beginning, there is a plan, right? And I do think before we wrap this up, I just kind of want to touch on a lot of what people say in regards to studying the book of Job. Is a lot of it is like there's like foreshadowing and foretelling of Christ.
Yeah.
Within this, the speech, because we didn't bore y'all with all of that, but some of the parts of when Job is like, well, who can atone for sins? Like who is perfect enough to live and do this and that? So he's pretty much foreshadowing, Christ to come and how none of us again are perfect. And then some people I know kind of interpret the book of Job as if it was a dream, right?
Oh,
like if he was like this whole scenario that's playing out is a dream
that makes sense
that's happening, and then until he comes to realization or whatever.
I think we probably skipped it in our discussion, but Job did end up in the wilderness too at some point, right? Or am I mixing up with somebody else?
I don't know. Let me look at. I'm gonna check real quick in the summary, but because I don't remember if he did.
It's something I don't remember either.
Was he? Was that where they found him? Was in the wilderness?
Maybe
the 7 friends. Because when he was outside.
Because we set up a whole scenario of them coming to the front porch.
Sure did.
Yeah, so maybe that's where it is. But when I'm saying wilderness, I'm thinking just the outside, the land out there.
Yeah, it very well could have been. But I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, like people say it's dream. A lot of people say that the book of Job is kind of separate in regards to the timeline of the Bible. I think there's like discussions on this situation because a lot of people are like, well, if Satan got kicked out, why is he coming up there and talking? And so people are like, well, this happened before.
I can see that.
The whole Adam and Eve thing, but it's just, a story within the story, I guess, of the Bible. So
it's good to have it in there because it's teachable. It's a teachable moment, teachable book indeed.
It really is. Again, it's my favorite book because, oh boy.
I just remember growing up, I'm like, shoot, he been through a lot.
Right. A whole lot.
I don't want to lose all that.
Right. So, I don't know. What's your takeaway?
My takeaway is to continue to trust God in times where it feels like you are by yourself. You are not. Don't wallow in not a depressive state, but just don't let things just affect you so much where you just block everything out. And if you're a Christian or spiritual person or whatever you should have faith to begin with.
Or like when people say, don't wallow in self-pity.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's bad.
You know what my takeaway is?
Let me brace myself. What?
Can't trust nobody.
No new friends. No new friends.
No new friends. No new.
No.
I stayed down from my day one, which is God. That's it.
There you go. There you go.
No, I disagree. I do think that it's always good to have friends in your life, but I mean, dang, get some real ones.
Yeah.
Real
vet
ones.
Your friends.
Please vet your friend. Oh my goodness.
And the real ones will show up in times of tragedy.
I be trying to tell my kids that. I've been like, listen,
everybody
I don't think she's your friend. But
everybody, okay, go ahead, girl.
And ain't nobody, and everybody is not going to be your friend, and you have to be okay with that.
Right. So, and one more takeaway: the white chair, the folding chair, will always be your friend in time of need.
It sure will.
Even if you don't visually see God, you can see the chair. The chair is right
carry
there.
one with you, okay?
Chair is not a chair. Oh goodness! Let me stop before we get carried away.
I'm just saying. Again, Montgomery Brawl.
2023, baby. The Gump showed out, baby.
Woo! All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Yes. Tune in next week when we cover. Let's see what's next. Let's see what's next in the Bible.
We are, technically, if we're going in order.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know I don't want to say it like that, but it's going to be, we're not going to tell you what's next. Just come back. Yeah. Okay? Just come back.
Listen, just come back and tune in next week.
Right. So same bad time, same bad channel.
All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We thank you. We keep seeing our numbers climbing, so we appreciate you guys.
Because somebody out there listening and somebody out there downloading and sharing. And again, you can find us on IG, Facebook, drop an email, YouTube. We are still coming to TikTok. I promise you. You're gonna see what.
Yes.
You're gonna see us. I promise.
We're on Threads now too, right?
Yes, we are.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah. So. Yeah, because it's for to be wildin'. But anyway, we love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging with us. And come back next time.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.